Hello and welcome back to Senses Collective. I'm REAGS. Today I thought it would be a good idea to break down, run through my track that I have just made, which is a House of the Dragons type beat. I grabbed the soundtrack for House of the Dragons and one of the scores called The Prince That Was Promised. So I used those two things, added in some other internal sounds in my DAW and tried to make something out of it. So it was almost the House of the Dragon type beat. So first I'm going to play The Prince That Was Promised. So I'll solo this in. I think this was on the first episode if I'm not mistaken. The next one was, I just looked up on YouTube, it's called the main theme trailer. I don't know if this is part of it. I mean, it could be. So it has a lot of drums. You get the idea. So they're the two main samples that I used. First off, I wanted to create a loop, something that I could just repeat and then build on top of, create a foundation. So what I did, I'm pretty sure I took the second sample that I just did with a lot of the drums, a lot of the vocals, the soundscape vocals, and I created this loop. And if I'm not mistaken, if I reverse this back, might take a bit. So that's the original sample, and then I just reversed it. Next part I did was create drums, and normally I use my own drum sounds and everything that I sort of make myself, whether it will be recording shaker sounds, the kabasa, whatever the case may be. I normally do that, but for this one I tried to work really quickly through this, and I just grabbed some default drum sounds which are just real simple. Next, bring some hi-hats in. So that's pretty much already the foundation. I wanted to just grab parts of the sample and chuck it in, almost like throwing stuff at the canvas and seeing what sticks and what works. And that's exactly what I did. So I grabbed certain samples like this one. And then I've got the other sample pan left. I've got one other sample as well, which I think is layering that jerk sound. Yeah, it's almost the horns, like a layer of horns. That sound. Just an open hat, which is layering the hats. Just adding a bit more of that high end. I've got a bass in here, but I wanted to grab the atmospheric bass, which is just the original sample. I've kind of rolled off a lot of the sub end to leave room for the bass, but this is going to be looping the whole track. If I solo it with the actual sub bass, it sounds like this. Let me put the drums in. And I've got one more drum track, which is necessary in this scheme of things, which is more percussion, more drums. I added some some West African drums, just a lot of it going on, and I'll put it in context with the drums. And then with the original sample. And while that is all good and amazing, and I could leave that looping over and over, I needed a bit of variety. So what I did was I grabbed the Prince That Was Promised sample, which is going to be that piano sample. And that's how I started off the track. So also I grabbed, where is it? The guitar rig 5, and I've just put slow motion movie, the preset, which is a lot of psych delay, a lot of reverb going on, and it's just pretty much carrying out this huge atmosphere, so I don't need to really put anything else on it. And that starts off the beat as the sample is rising up. So that's pretty much it. And then the rest of the stuff I did was just more samples, trying not to overclutter. But one of the other main things I did was I needed more strings. I needed some violins. I grabbed part of the sample from, I'm pretty sure it was House of the Dragon main theme. And I just rolled off a lot of the low end and tried to really make the strings bright. So that's this sample. Playing it by itself, it sounds too jagged, it sounds out of place. But, and then it rises. And then I cut it out. It's just the original sample. And then it just comes back in. So I just use that middle section to kind of break it down so it's not too repetitive. Like I said, I could leave it repeating the whole beat. It just sounds so good and hard hitting with the drums, but that variety in the middle, it's nice to break it up, slow down, and almost create a bit of tension and then bring back the original idea in just to finish off the beat. But yeah, so what did you think? Did you like this? Does it have a House of the Dragon kind of vibe? If you did, let me know what you think below. Please like and subscribe. It lets me know if you're fucking with what I'm doing, and it lets me know if you like stuff like this. Go check out my channel for other hip hop content. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the beat.